let's take a quick look at the 40th anniversary reissue of one of my favorite G1 Transformers. We'll take a quick look at the one and only Soundwave with Laserbeak and Ravage. And I have my original vintage Soundwave out here for comparison, as well as a reissue, like the encore reissues of Laserbeak and Ravage. I am going into this a little blind, so to speak. I don't know anything about this particular reissue of Soundwave. I wish I had more justification to buying him other than just I was browsing Amazon for G1 Transformer reissues and a Soundwave came up. I haven't had a Soundwave reissue for a while, so here he is, and really that's the extent of my rationale for buying him. The back of the card back is exactly what you'd expect. I will never get tired of this image. We got the tech specs there. Just from the way he presents in package, you can tell right off the bat that there's a lot more sort of like matte coloring going on with all three. So I don't know if we have any chrome mixed in there. We'll see once we get these guys out of package. So let's do that now. First impressions are cautiously optimistic. So let's transform these guys and talk about them. I guess because the trend is for Hasbro to go cheaper as far as production costs every time they reissue something, I was expecting these guys to be fully plastic with every corner cut. But I say cautiously optimistic about them as my first impression because that's already not the case, which is nice. Ravage has got his legs, which are metal, which are painted over, which is nice. And that makes me kind of appreciate kind of the matte finish on the rest of the cassette mode even more so. Laserbeak has got some nice chrome stickers on him, and the part of him that's supposed to be metal is. So that is nice as well. There's something brighter, more cartoony about this, or the paint finish on this version of Soundwave that I'm liking. He ejects, he holds a cassette just like he should. Actually, let's make sure everything fits properly. Yeah, so that's good. He does what he's supposed to do. The missiles or guns or little engine bits, whatever you want to call them, that attach to the two cassettes in alt modes are also in sort of like a matte silver paint as opposed to the chrome. Which, who knows, maybe that could look good. Let's see. Soundwave is one of the few Decepticons, few G1 Transformers actually, that I transformed, even as an adult collector, I transformed pretty routinely. There was something satisfying and nostalgic about his transformation because he was one of the first G1 Transformers I ever had as a kid. So having a version of him to sort of mess around with and play with is something I feel like I kind of needed. I've only had my original G1 Soundwave for a while now, so I guess, yeah, it really was time to get a reissue that I don't have to be so cautious about handling. So there's Ravage, and he looks good. He looks as good as he should. He's solidly made too. Like with some of the G1 reissues that have been coming out over the years, they do feel like shoddy manufacturing. They do feel like they're going to fall apart, or things squeak because the joints are too tight, or things look too loose, or the paintwork is bad. So far, this is not the case with these guys, which is nice, which is a really nice surprise. That this seems to be of better quality overall. come on, there we go, than what I was expecting. And I actually like the matte, kind of the matte look of these guys more and more now that the more and more I look at them. This is a really nice Ravage, and I guess your preference, because these are both reissues now we're talking about, it's just down to your personal preference, what you prefer the look to be. No, we don't have the rub symbols, unfortunately, but I really like the look of this Ravage. And the Laserbeaks, I still got to give it to the Encore one, just because I love these stickers on the wings. I almost prefer the matte finish on these two engine pieces, but the sticker work on the Encore reissue, and I love the Decepticon symbol on his head. But also a matter of preference. And I'm hoping to be surprised by some metal toes in here or something, because there is a little bit of weight. Yeah, the toes are metal. There's enough weight to this that I'm really pleasantly surprised that they haven't seemed to have cut the corners I was afraid they would. I had put in his cannon already, cannon and gun, as his in his battery case here. No matter what rendition of Soundwave, G1 Soundwave I have, I always have trouble with the toes. Okay. And he looks really nice. I love that the shoulder cannon, they have like these holes picked out in red, which is not the case on the vintage one. Overall, he's a brighter shade of blue, which I really like. I don't know, it's almost as if with this 40th anniversary one, they were going for like the cartoon color scheme a bit more so. And maybe that's the case. Again, I go in blind with some of my reissues when I purchase them, this being one of them. I don't know what aesthetically they were going for with this, other than just to sort of justify getting another Soundwave out there on the market. Whatever their reasoning, I am happy with it because he looks great. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints, if any, other than maybe lacking some of like the G1, really G1 stickers. But again, the more I think about it, the more I look at this, maybe that is what they were going for, to make it a bit more accurate to what we saw in the cartoon, in which case they have succeeded with flying colors. You do get 3 of the missiles that go into the gun here. There's one in there. It's also like a matte gray. So basically no chrome to be found on these guys, but that does not bother me as much as I thought it would. And that is just a quick look at the 40th anniversary reissues of Soundwave, Laserbeak, and Ravage. And Hasbro did a reissue really right this time.